going on, guys? John from TripleSleeveTCG here to bring you another deck profile. Here we go. We're playing Royal Paladin today, so let's go ahead and get into it. As you guys know, the past, let's see, October 2nd was the release of MLB. So here's what I'll be showing you guys today. So our starter today is Barkle. Same starter, they just redid it so that you get a quick shield. We got our 8 crits, you know, the 4 Lu, 4 Flogel, and then we have 4 draw PGs, 4 heals. Pretty standard, guys. Speaking of, all of this stuff does come in the trial deck too. So this is like, I know Crow already showed you the unboxing, but you know, here's the profile. At least this is the one I went with. Next up are our grade 1s. We got 4 copies of Wingle Brave. Its skill is Vanguard Rearguard. When it attacks or the attack it boosted hits the Vanguard, check the top 7 cards of your deck, any blaster from your deck, and put it into and shuffle your deck. Now, the really good thing about this is that unlike the former Wingle Brave from the G series, this one does not go away. So now we're going to be able to use this multiple times. Plus, any blaster, any grade, doesn't matter, we're in there. Next up is 4 copies of Knight Squire Allen. When placed, Counterblast 1, call up to 1 card with a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, and then if you call the card, draw a card, and this unit gets +3. As much as you want to like filter through the deck and, you know, kind of just get there, this really this important piece right here helps you get to your other pieces, the basic, to set you up further in the game later on. Last up for our grade 1s, we play 3 copies of Blaster Dagger. The first skill is not quite important because we don't play that many blasters in the deck to be able to capitalize off of it. However, its second skill, when the attack of your Vanguard with a blaster or Arc Saver in its card name hits the Vanguard, you may bounce this to your hand. The one problem with this deck is that you run out of shield value very quickly, so I felt like Dagger here was a good way to circumvent that. Now to the meat of the deck, which is basically the grade 2s. We got 4 copies of Blaster Blade. On place, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, retire Rearguard in the front row. And then if you have 4, and if it's on the Vanguard circle, if you have 4 more Rearguards, this unit will gain +1 critical. So when you use cards like Allen to fill up your board even further, and another grade 2 that's in our deck, you fill up the field very quickly. So getting that extra critical, you'll more than likely get it than not. Next up is 4 copies of Blaster Dark. You want to play 4 copies of the partner because they both help for MLB. Vanguard Rearguard, on place, Counterblast 1. Your opponent chooses one of their Rearguards and retires it. But we don't really care about that first part. We care about that second part. Axe skill. When your opponent has no Rearguards, +1 drive. So you go first. Your opponent doesn't want to commit. Oh well, you punish them for it. And then also they had to rewrite it, so we had this nice little text here that said this card is also a Royal Paladin. Otherwise, we won't be able to use this. We won't be able to use Blaster Dark, any other version of Blaster Dark except this. That's very unfortunate because there are some pretty decent arts of it out there. Next up is 4 copies of Lavaro. I've seen a bunch of people play 3 copies of this card. I personally like it at 4. Even if I see too many of it in my hand, I'd rather get it. On place from hand, Counterblast 1, go get a grade 2 from your deck. So that's your blasters, your other grade 2 pieces, whatever. But if you use up all of your counterblast, instead of using a counterblast, you'll use a soul blast instead, which is why I think he's very useful as far as filling the field up. Next up is 3 copies of Starcall Trumpeter. Starcall Trumpeter says when placed, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, return a blaster in its card name, or when light and darkness intersects, which is the order card, by the way, from your drop to your hand. Literally any blaster and the order card back to your hand. It's a lot of recursion. It lets you be able to recycle certain cards, even if you have to soul blast out a certain piece out of MLB later on. When you have a Vanguard with blaster in his name, this gains boost. Literally, you put it behind Blaster Blade or Blaster Dark, let them attack, activate MLB when you get to it, put them in the soul, do whatever you need to do. But once again, I guess it's not really gonna make sense until we catch up. So moving on, we have the order card here. When light and darkness intersects. When you have a Blaster Blade on your field, Vanguard Rearguard does not matter. You go get Blaster Dark and add it to your hand. If you have Blaster Dark in your hand, you go get Blaster Blade instead. And if you happen to have both, it lets you search out for Majesty Lord Blaster. Playing this card at 4 is extremely cloggy. 2 feels like I never saw it enough. So we figured 3 and bam, now we're working with gas. Next up is our final, well, I guess not final, but final 4 cards of the deck. We play 4 copies of Majesty Lord Blaster. Now, it says Vanguard Rearguard, if Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark are in your soul, this unit gets +1 critical, and if it is on your Vanguard circle, +5 and plus drive. Completely amazing, giving this card triple drive for literally nothing at all. Also, auto skill Vanguard, when it attacks, put 2 of your rearguards into soul, gain 2 imaginary gift force. Once again, completely amazing for a card coming straight out of a pre-constructed deck. But that's all I got for you guys today. Please, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, tell us what you think, and we'll see you for the next video. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.